Hi, my name is Janelle, your real estate connoisseur here for the nation's capital of Ottawa, where you get to stay tuned with everything related to living, lifestyle, and entertainment here in the nation's capital.
Yep, that's me.
Ottawa is so boring. No, but really, is it? If you're curious about whether or not Ottawa is the place for you for your next visit, your next place to entertain, or even your next place to invest, well, guess what? You've come to the right place. My name is Janelle Edwards. I am a native of the Ottawa region, as well as realtor and a true connoisseur of everything related to real estate here in the Ottawa region. Now, not only have I grown up here, I've also studied here, I've played here, so I do come with the unbiased truth as to what it really truly means to actually live and play here. I've also had the opportunity to live in different cities across Canada, including Edmonton and as well as Toronto. So I'm coming to you with an unbiased and an uncut truth as to what it really means to live here in Ottawa. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and of course share with other folks who are looking for more information when it comes to real estate here in the Ottawa region. So let's talk a little bit more about the pros and cons of what Ottawa living really and truly is. So let's get a little bit into the good, shall we? So first and foremost, it goes without saying, Ottawa is the nation's capital and as well as the home to the federal government. So you are going to find that it is the largest employer here. So if you have any desire when it comes to public administration, then this is absolutely the place that you want to be. Now, along with the federal government being the highest employer here in the city, you are also going to experience other major industries, which include tech and as well as healthcare, both of which are expanding. Now, what's really cool is that the tech industry here in Ottawa has been declared as pretty much the largest in Canada. So for tech startups, a lot of them are finding their roots here in the nation's capital. And we are seeing a continuous growth when it comes to healthcare. Most recently, we had the groundbreaking of the Ottawa General Hospital that's building a brand new campus here. So again, if you are looking within those 2 or 3 sectors, this is the absolute place to be. But it doesn't stop there. Ottawa is also very much growing and very, very business friendly. We got to give thanks to organizations such as Invest Ottawa. So we're seeing a lot of small and medium-sized businesses grow and flourish here. And it also presents a lot of great opportunity. Now, yes, it's a government city, so let's kind of, unravel that a little bit. Because it is a government city, you are going to find that people here tend to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more risk adverse. So depending on where you are coming from in the 4 corners of this world, you might find people to be a little bit standoffish. Yeah, but please don't take it personal. I promise you, next time you are out and about in Ottawa, do yourself a favor and try to approach somebody and say hi. And you know what? I won't say that this is an exclusive situation to Ottawa. I think most major cities, have this issue where people tend to be in their own silos. However, Ottawa does have a bit of a reputation because it is a government city. So what you are going to notice here is that it is a city that you do have to take extra initiative to go out, meet people. But of course, there's tons of events, tons of activities for you to partake in to get acquainted and to meet people. So that goes without saying. Let's talk a little bit about the fabric of this city in terms of its cultural makeup. So first and foremost, Ottawa is home to the largest Indigenous community in Canada. And as well, it is a beautiful mix of many different cultures, including different religions, creeds. You got it all here in the city of Ottawa. And what that makes is a beautiful plethora of restaurants, entertainment, festivals that you see within the capacity of Ottawa. Now, if you want to compare us to, let's say, another major city, being that of Toronto, then yes, we are much smaller in comparison. However, if you are coming from any part of this world, you are absolutely going to find somebody or as well as a community here for you. What I also really am enjoying about this city is that we're also seeing a great mix and rise of a lot of Black-owned organizations and as well as businesses here in the city. If you take a look at the downtown core in particular, in the Byward Market, there's a lot of Black-owned restaurants that are thriving. And this also, too, is a testament to the direction of the city and the opportunities that exist here. So if you are coming with a zest to perhaps start business or get involved in the community, get involved in your community, there's tons of opportunities for you to take advantage here in the city. It is still very much in growing phase, so your insight and what you bring in terms of your skill set, bring it through to Ottawa. We can absolutely utilize it. And the fabric also lends itself because we have a huge student community here with 3 major universities, Ottawa U, St. Paul's, and as well as Carleton University. There are lots of students that come from all across the world. And so for that, and because of that, we are seeing that lends itself very much to the fabric of this city as well. Also, not to mention, Ottawa has been declared as the most educated city of Canada. So for academics, this is also a place that you want to highly consider on your list. So let's talk a little bit about what Ottawa loves to pride itself on, which is the fact that we're clean, baby. Just about anywhere that you can go within the city limits, everyone says, from, people who actually live here to people who are coming from abroad, recognize that Ottawa is a very, very clean city. Now, this is also because we pay some taxes, okay? We pay some pretty taxes in this city. But it's also great public, knowledge that people here take pride in our outdoor space. And you'll also notice that in the amount of naturescape that you get to experience here, there's tons of paths, there's tons of bike pathways, as well as beautiful picturesque parks here. Not to mention, we are situated right on the Rideau River, and we also are home to the largest not largest canal, but the largest skating rink, which is a canal, which is the Rideau Canal, which transforms itself into a skating rink in the winter. So because of that, people here absolutely love the fact that it is clean, that you get to enjoy the city streets, even the small things. So like when we get tons of snow, which I'll be talking about weather soon, you'll notice here that the city is incredibly quick when it comes to actually cleaning the streets, making it safe, making it accessible. So these are things too, in comparison to some other cities, that we pride ourselves here on Ottawa. So one thing I also want to mention is I'm a girl who I love the outdoors, but I also love me a spa day. So what I love is its proximity, Ottawa's proximity to Gatineau. It's just a bridge away. So if you ever wanted to just be in a different world, you're literally anywhere between 45 minutes to half an hour away, depending on where you are situated in Ottawa. And you are now all of a sudden in Quebec and on the Gatineau side. So Gatineau is also home to some of the most beautiful spas, as well as picturesque parks, being the Gatineau Park. I had to mention this because our neighbors right across, it is a bonus being able to live in Ottawa and then be able also to experience going next door over to Quebec. Being able to go over to the Quebec side is also really awesome. Get to experience a different way of living. If you want to get out of the city a little bit, presents that option. So again, just to wrap that up, if you love nature, if you love dates in the park, if you like walking, if you are a biker, if you just enjoy outdoors, then you are absolutely going to find it here in Ottawa. Now, do we have things like Rocky Mountains and beaches? Well, beaches, depending on what you think of, we do have beaches, but beaches that are on a lake. So again, you do have to change a bit of your perspective here, but there's tons of things for you to do when it comes to enjoying the nature and the landscape here in Ottawa. So, we got to talk a little bit about the not so good when it comes to Ottawa. And The first thing I'm going to start off with is the weather. Now, this is kind of a bit of a controversial topic because you either love or you hate winter. I would say that, winter to me is a bit of a trying time, but I will also say that winter in Ottawa can be absolutely beautiful. And I'll tell you why. So if you are looking to move to Ottawa, you absolutely have to brace yourself because for a few months out of the year, it can get incredibly frigidly cold here, anywhere from -10 to even -40. So your crop tops and your summer wear in the winter will not fly here. You absolutely have to invest in great winter gear. And of course, if you do drive, you got to get snow tires and make sure that the kit on your car works and is in great condition for the weather here. What I will also say is there's a higher amount of precipitation when it comes to snow in Ottawa in comparison to other cities. So also be prepared for that. Depending on the year, you either get huge heavy snowfalls, and there's some years that we've seen lighter accumulation. But either way, be prepared for a lot of snow. But in terms of the good, I find the snow to be actually quite majestic. It also offers to those of you who do actually enjoy the winter, tons of activities here when it comes to weather. So first and foremost, great options in terms of skiing, snowboarding, and of course, all things winter activity related. As well, in my opinion, those spas that I talked to you about that I absolutely love that are on the Gatineau side, they are best enjoyed in the winter. Trust me. And of course, I'll leave the links below in terms of the spas in which I'm speaking about, which are outdoor heated pool spas that you need to check out. Have I kind of made it clear that I love spas? Anyways, and then at the same time, there is the Rideau Canal, which I also previously mentioned, which turns into an ice rink. People actually use it for transportation to and from work or even downtown. Of course, you can leverage it to hang out with your friends, your family, kids absolutely love it. And as well in certain times of the year, or at certain portions, I should say, of when the canal is open. There is also a festival known as Winterlude. So that goes on for several weekends at a time, depending, of course, on when the canal is actually open. This past year, we actually were really lucky that we had almost a month's worth of actual skating time. And that's because the other issue that is a global issue, of course, is climate change. We are seeing hills and valleys when it comes to our weather patterns here. And so be prepared for that. If you are coming to Ottawa specifically to enjoy the canal, then make sure that you stay in top of the news to make sure that you are coming when the canal is in fact open. Again, we were very lucky this year. It's a great opportunity for you to learn to skate or, take out your skating shoes and enjoy. Also, along with spas and skating and all of that other stuff, cottage country is hot during that period of time. So you can also enjoy that. So I say that to say, if you take the initiative to actually enjoy winter, Ottawa actually presents itself as a very, very beautiful place to be. So another con, and again, this is all based on perspective, but let's talk a little bit about transportation, because if you're going to move here, you need to know how to exactly get around. Now, again, we are quite privileged here in Ottawa in that, on average, our roads and the infrastructure is quite superior in comparison to maybe some of the places around the world. However, it is known here on the ground that the transportation system, the public transportation system that is known as the OC Transpo, which is run by the City of Ottawa, can be at times quite unreliable. Now, what that looks like is as of recently or over the past few years, they've actually developed what is known as an O train. So the O train is an actual light rail train that expands from the city's east to the city's west, and as most recently, south to north. And so what we're noticing and what we've experienced is that the O train is not reliable on occasion. It stops, it starts. There's been weeks in which it didn't work. But on the offset, the city has done an incredible job to not only fix these issues, but also expand the O train line, making it an opportunity for more ridership. And this is also a testament to how the city is growing. So if you are somebody who is dependent on public transportation, you absolutely have to pay attention in terms of where you are living in proximity to the major stations. And as well, pack a little patience when it comes to riding the OC Transpo. At the same time, Ottawa in general, yes, does it suffer from a little bit of congestion? Of course, it is a relatively major city. But in my opinion, getting around in vehicle here is actually quite great. So we do have few major highways, being the 416 and the 417. And so that takes you from each end, as well as through to Toronto, being the 416 and the 417 all the way out through to Montreal. So there's a lot of great arteries that can take you through Ottawa, as well as there's a lot of back roads. So traveling in Ottawa vehicle is great, as well as we do have access to Uber taxis. So we got it. You just need to bring yourself. And it goes without saying, when we talk about investing in Ottawa, we also have to uncover the uncouth truth, and we have to also talk about things that perhaps people don't want to talk about. And something that the city is plagued with, and again, this is not just, a situation here in Ottawa. This is something that we see across major cities across pretty much North America, is the unhoused issue. So this is a situation that we see primarily in the downtown core of Ottawa, which has impacted lifestyle and living in the city. It is quite disturbing and sad. However, there's a lot of leadership that is happening to ensure that these individuals who have rights, these individuals who deserve a place to live, that there is in fact opportunity for them, and that they are treated with the highest, most respect as well. So that is something that if you do come to Ottawa and you do enjoy interacting with the space downtown, whether it's for shopping, eating, you may come across that as well. Now, I talked obviously a little bit about the fabric of Ottawa and what that brings, including art, culture, food, some of the cultural events that I absolutely love here in the city, including Caravibe, as well as the Blues Festival. These are just a few of the things that happen which display a lot of the different cultural nuances of this city. However, if you are a night owl, then Ottawa may or may not rise to the occasion. And I'll tell you why. Because it is, again, a government city, it has been known to be relatively sleepy after 5 p.m. Now, again, if you are looking for entertainment beyond those hours, there is, of course, opportunities. But in comparison to our sister cities like Montreal and Toronto, there is still a lot of growth opportunity there. However, don't know if you know this, but Ottawa actually has a nighttime mayor, which is really cool, all with the intentions of changing that narrative and making Ottawa a hot spot so that we can now actually compare and we can actually compete to some of those other major cities. And as of most recently, we actually got the news that there is going to be a new event venue being built here in the city known as History, which none other than Drake is ownership and is owner in that establishment, as well as we are also seeing a lot of really key developments happening in the city, including Lansdowne Park, which is going to be home to a potential new stadium, as well as a lot of residential and mixed use, as well as Lansdowne Park, which that is an area too, just in Old Ottawa South, where we are anticipating a brand new event center that's going to hold in and around 5,000 to 6,000 people, as well as an expanded stadium and as well as residential spaces. So the city is growing, and however, we are missing out on, I'm waiting for the day Beyonce can come here, okay? Until then, right now, we have to kind of go over to Toronto and Ottawa. I'm waiting for the day that Beyonce can come here, okay? But until then, we gotta hike it over to Montreal and to Toronto. But mark my word, there may be a day. So let's recap the pros and cons about here in Ottawa. So pros, of course, great job opportunities, great industry as well. It is also a very steady Eddie and predictable city. So of course, if you're looking to invest, it's not as risky per se. And so if you are less risk adverse, then this might be the place for you. As well as its vibrancy culturally is a beautiful place that you can as well as the vibrant culture and the fabric of the many different cultures and religions that live here, there's absolutely a place for you. Transportation, although it can be a little bit sticky, is still great, as well as you have opportunities to take alternative routes, including driving, taxis. So accessibility here in the city, I would rate it perhaps like a 7 out of 10 with opportunity that we're going to see of more growth. The cons, on the other hand, you got to deal with harsher weather. But if you prepare yourself in advance, then guess what? You can pay that no mind and enjoy yourself on the ski hills, in the spas, on the Rideau Canal, and whatever else that you like to do. As well as, although it is a sleepy city, if you actually invest here and if you come here in due time, you are going to see that dynamic change because there's a lot of investment that is happening here, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry here in the city. So, you know what? Ottawa isn't for everyone, but if it is for you, then I would absolutely love to help you. So in a nutshell, Ottawa isn't for everyone. However, if you value lifestyle, if you value being able to maneuver with ease, if you also value having more time, because again, being able to move with ease and as well as nature, then Ottawa might just be the place for you. I'm Janelle. I am the nation's capital's realtor and as well as your connoisseur for everything Ottawa real estate. If you have any questions or concerns or would love to learn more about real estate here in the Ottawa region and whether or not Ottawa makes sense to you, well, stay tuned for some more episodes. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, or feel free to message me in the comment section below.